meeting you where you are. The meaning behind the slogan is that we meet the community where they are on their journey towards holistic health, a plant-based lifestyle, and veganism, whether it's physically, mentally, emotionally, or spiritually. We do this through people, food, events, and culture. Our 6 pillars are earth, eating, education, empowerment, enlightenment, and events. We are Black Veg Society.
Vegan soul through food, people, events, and culture. Today, we'll be speaking on a topic that touches millions of families particularly in our community, the Black community, Indigenous and people of color communities. It's asthma. Now, if you live with asthma, you've probably been told at least once, stay away from the dairy. It's an inflammatory food product that creates mucus. It's a belief so common it feels like absolute fact. Now, the Physicians Committee of Responsible Medicine, one of our sponsors and supporters of events, takes a much firmer stance against dairy than mainstream medical groups. As a nonprofit organization of doctors that strongly advocates for whole food plant-based diets, PCRM does not view dairy as neutral or benign. Their stance is direct. Dairy products actively raise the risk of developing asthma and can significantly worsen its symptoms. I want to invite a couple of guests on today who are fresh off the floor of the latest asthma conference to shed some light on this topic and is touching their families personally. Let me introduce you to Terry Butler and Dr. Rika Wilson of Brown Girl Wellness. How are we doing today?
Hello. Hi, how are you, Naijha?
I'm great. When you talked to me about this asthma conference, we had this casual conversation, and you were sharing so much information. The number one question you knew I was going to ask, it had to be vegan related, and I said, "Well, what did they say about dairy?" And nobody, I don't know. So, what are your understanding based on the contributors and discussions that was in the conference? What are the contributors to asthma? What did you learn at the conference? Terry, I know you were actively there.
So, I will agree dairy is a component to that. Because as we all know, dairy creates a lot of mucus, which mucus isn't good for us. It stops up our breathing, swallowing correctly, which can trigger off the asthma. Um, Also, excuse me, dust and smoke, just rodents, things of that nature, which all of that is a problem in our community. I live in a 21215 community, um, which right now is flooded with dust and dirt in the air because of the new construction with the racetrack that's going on right now.
Oh, yes.
And so I apologize, but what was the question from the beginning, from the conference? You asked
Oh, no
me.
problem. Like, with any takeaways that anything that you took away from the conference in regards to asthma, and then was there any mention of dairy in any of that discussion? Because dairy is kind of shoved down our community's throats, knowing that, or maybe they don't know, that we are lactose intolerant naturally to dairy. It causes flatulence, bloated issues, all type of issues, and it is an inflammatory product. I know when I cut back dairy, it solved a lot of problems that I couldn't figure out what was going on, whether it was my throat or this little little thing that used to come up from my throat that was really nasty, some type of calcium type of buildup, my sinus and all that type of stuff. So I was just curious, did they mention anything about that? Or what other triggers did they talk about mostly?
They mostly talked about just the environment being dirty and dusty, mold,
Oh yeah, mold.
rodents. Yes,
Yeah.
mold is like number one, but they did not mention dairy at all, not one single time. But myself, I mentioned just your diet, period, and the things that we have access to in our community. Well, easy access to anyway.
Right.
So I bring up like just dairy by itself, but I did bring up just what we eat, what we're eating to contribute to the asthma. But there were no one else brought it up in at the conference.
Wow.
Um, but mold is number one. I would say mold is number one. Clearly, smoking and just the dust, the rodents. So they were pretty much just speaking on those topics, not really food.
Interesting. And before I get your take on it, Dr. Rika, I know you wasn't physically there, but you were aware of the conference, and I kind of want to get your personal experience about asthma and what your thoughts are on the contributors. Lots of babies are born with this colic thing, right? And I'm not
Mhm.
sure if that's related to milk. They have like an allergic reaction to milk or not, or they can't consume milk. And this is even before they're accessible or introduced to this abundance of dust and mold and all that type of stuff. So I'm just curious. I'm always curious and concerned why that wasn't a topic of discussion at the conference. Dr. Rika, what is your take on this?
Yes. Would you like me to speak on the asthma first or the?
Yeah,
Okay.
both.
Yes. So, personally, myself and my sons have had asthma issues prior to moving to a different place with a higher altitude where we were not impacted. So, when we lived in Charles County, for an example, we lived in a beautiful neighborhood, but it was down the street from a landfill. So
Mm.
that caused a lot of issues. And we were in the urgent care facility at least once a week.
Oh no.
It was to the point that my sons were out of school for weeks at a time because of the severity of their asthma. We moved to a different place with a higher altitude. We're in a mountainous area, so we haven't had that problem in years. So that's something that's very interesting. As it relates to food, we have to go back to what we've been taught, right? From the time we were in elementary school. I don't know about you all, but I went to elementary school in South Carolina. And, we're taught that we need milk. We need it. It's not an option. You have to have milk with breakfast. You have to have it with lunch. You have to have all the stuff. And,
Yeah.
so we've been misguided, for a long time. So it's hard to undo the doing once it's been done. So I think we have to start at how we're taught, what's pushed as pushed as correct into our communities, that we need these things, and there are no alternatives. Just recently, I've purchased oat milk ice cream just recently, and I'm 51. So why did it take me all this time to purchase oat milk ice cream? When you know better, you do better. So it's not that people know better, or because when they do know better, they can make an informed decision. Do I want to eat this? Is it going to cause inflammation? Is it going to cause mucus? Is it going to cause me to have some asthmatic issues? So education is definitely the key, and we have to stand up against the systems, right? Because the systems are connected to each other, right? Because if they don't have a person sick, they don't have a job. So
Right.
we have to think about that. So it's really systems that are in place, historic systems that are continuously oppressing our communities. So we have to show them something different. So I can't just say, for an example, don't do dairy anymore. what is the alternative that I'm giving the person that they may have the same type of experience. We can talk about cheese. I even admitted the other day to my sons, cheese addiction is real, right? When people are addicted to cheese, what is cheese really? Why do people feel the need to have cheese on everything? So is there a difference between being a cheese addict and a drug addict when you really get
No.
down to it? So it's just a more common thing that people, so dairy is an addiction, right? It's really, I really feel like it's something that people, it's pushed in our communities. It's an addiction. It's a mild addiction, and we don't know how to break it. So what do we do now?
Dr. Rika, I am so happy that you shared your insight on that, because that's exactly what it is. It's an addiction, just like the sugar and the salt that they
Mhm.
sprinkle. When I say they, whoever's contributing to the excessive consumption of salt and sugar and dairy, all these toxins that they're having, or we're putting in our bodies because of cultural, historical
Economic
influences. And
and
yes,
economic
and
influences, because people need to be sick to keep the systems going. That's
exactly.
that have it has to happen. If all hospitals close, how many people would be out of jobs?
Exactly. And then it's a negative impact in low income communities, which is our communities. I mean, there's other
Mhm.
communities that have a low income. I think there's some research that needs to be done around that. I'm going to do some research
Mhm.
on that and see what comes up. But for our communities, the black and brown communities, this needs to be looked into, because we have the environmental aspects, like you're talking about, being placed around landfills. There's a documentary out called "The Smell of Money" that talked about families in North Carolina that was near an agricultural pig farm, and their
Mhm.
children were getting sick with asthma. It's really disgusting, and it's sad that the situations and conditions that we need to be put in, at the grace of capitalism and people making money, from it.
Absolutely. And I'd like to highlight choose my plate, right? What have we been learning with the USDA for years? You have to have a certain amount of something on your plate. Is that true? If it's true, or true according to whom, right? So when do we challenge the systems? So I was very honored to get a call from Ruth Ann Norton, who is the founder and executive director of Green and Healthy Homes Initiative, who funded our project to shed light on the disparity in marginalized neighborhoods about asthma, and to give voice to those who have been voiceless. One mother, it was her first time sharing ever that my child passed away from asthma at 16, her first time ever saying it out loud in public. And so we are making sure there is justice in corners where there is injustice, right? So and Terry can speak more on that, because she participated in the film. And so this is really about voting for your voice and giving voice to the voiceless. We cannot allow people to continue to speak for us. We must speak for ourselves. Change doesn't happen on front porches. It happens when we get up and do something about it. So I'll
Uh,
pass the ball to Terry.
Amen. I got to give a clap for that. And
Yeah.
Terry, definitely, we got to hear your take. But let me give a Dr. Rika, you just gave us a
Thank you.
whole mouthful.
Thank, thank you, Kat.
So I can say this. When Jordan was alive and here with us, she had plant based meals. Everything that she had was plant based. She
And
never
who's
had an
Jordan?
issue.
Who's Jordan for people that don't know?
Okay, so Jordan is my daughter, who passed away in September from chronic lung disease. Um, a part of many disabilities that she had, with asthma was one of them. Um, Excuse me. And but I do believe by her being on the plant-based diet, it eliminated her from having a lot of mucus, because that was one of the things we didn't have a problem with mucus. And I think that if you look at the system as far as like WIC goes, it doesn't, to my knowledge, I'm almost 100% right. They don't give you a option for the oat milk or the excuse me, I don't know, the almond milk. And if you go into the stores around my neighborhood, you're not buying that, not unless you go all the way to the grocery store. A lot of us, um, a lot of people in the neighborhood may not have transportation to get there. So it's like, okay, not only do we have to educate our people about different things, we also have to make it accessible.
Mhm.
Yes.
So that's one thing that we need to work on. Like, how do we do that? The educational part of it, and then the accessibility of the things that we need to change. Um,
Mhm.
it's very dear to me, even now after she's gone. Um, just coming out my door and having dirt. I wiped off my car the other day, and it was full of dirt from just everything floating around from, I mean, on top of everyday dust and dirt and everything like that. But I live right across the street from the racetrack, and everything is blown off there. I put a table outside, a day later it's full of dirt. So you can just imagine what's going into my lungs, what's going into my children's lungs, which they don't have asthma, but who's to say that they're not going to start having these problems?
Right.
And um all from there to the schools, you walk into the schools, the air is tight. I don't know when the last time one of you guys had been in walked into a Baltimore City public school, but the
Yeah.
air is tight when you go
Right.
in there. It's different. It's almost like you walk in and just like zoop. So what is causing that? Is that mold? Is that
We can look at older buildings,
Older
and
building.
most importantly, we have to say something, right?
You
The
have to say
yeah,
parents
something.
have to, community and parents,
yes,
we must not remain silent. We must say something, because
Exactly.
there is an expense, right? There is an expense for us being silent. So when we're silent, the kids suffer, our communities suffer, the elderly suffer. So we must say something. And so this is more of, I see this as more of a movement, right? It's more
Yes.
than a film. This is a movement, a call to action for
And we just
everybody on the corner, everybody in the neighborhood. Say something, do something, stand up for yourself, stand up for sister so and so and brother so and so. We cannot remain silent. It's just not an option.
and
I
we're
also
gonna get
want to
back to this
touch.
film. Go ahead,
I'm
Terry.
sorry, I want to say one more thing. As far as like when you first started about babies having issues in the beginning, I think it all goes back to mom, what mom is eating, because that's where it starts at. So when you have a baby that is having these different problems with colic or asthma, things like that, it's trickled down to what mom is eating, you know. And
If I heard you correctly,
Also,
because I think it was a little static on your end. It does start with the black woman's health. Let's just call it what it is, because that's what it is. Black woman's health during maternity and after maternity, because I understand your situation with your daughter Jordan. If things were done a certain way when she was born, Jordan may still be with us today, but that didn't happen. So that's a big topic, the Black women's health. I don't know if you want to say
yeah.
something about that, Dr. Rika.
Yeah,
I'm
we're not honored. We're
Mhm.
still not honored. It's a fight. There's no difference between when Fannie Lou Hamer and women were um, dealing with injustice in the hospital, in Sunflower Hospital, years and years ago, when they were just their bodies were just not honored, right? And I can speak for myself. I had my youngest son at almost 40, and let me tell you, I had the most miserable experience. I was fighting for my life just by having him. Why in 2013, with all the medical advancements, why was I fighting for my life by just giving birth? Why? And then
And
the
that's
after effects of that I still deal with. 13 years later, he'll be 13 this year, and I still have so many issues. Tubal ligations. I should have never, ever, 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 ever received a tubal ligation. It was one of the worst things I've ever experienced. And the after effects have been horrible. So we have to get into our communities and we have to just speak up. It's necessary. Other than that, we will continue to be second class citizens, even as it relates to our own health.
and that's why we're here today. And I want to address some things that Terry said, and then I want to talk about this upcoming Joy for Jordan Day, and then get into your upcoming your documentary, Dr. Rika. So Terry, you mentioned the accessibility of the milks, the almond and the oat milk. I know with WIC, if I remember correctly, because I used to speak to pregnant women that were on WIC through some programs. I think it was the Be More Healthy Babies programs. Soy milk, I think, is an option under the program. So if I'm not correct, and as long as the child isn't allergic to soy, and soy is a bean, let me remind everyone, soy bean is a bean. There are people that are allergic to beans and the effects of beans. You can get bloated. So these are things that can happen with soy. That's the issue. Soy is a bean. But soy milk, from my understanding, should still be offered on a selection of lists. I know it's offered on the SNAP program, and then there's online, not even online. If you go to some places, you can actually use the EBT card to purchase certain things, and soy milk should be one of them. Because I know when I go to Amazon and I look at EBT eligible items, there is a plethora of items that people can buy that are on the SNAP program. And that's more education that we're going to start bringing out to the community as well, because accessibility is important. And if you don't know how to access it, if you're just discovering, hey, I didn't even know this was here, or how to get this, then you're not going to know. So that's the one thing. I forgot the second point I was going to address with you, Terry, but that was the one most important thing, sharing how you can assess these things so that everyone, regardless of their social economic status, has access to it. The racetrack, can you tell us? That's what I want. The racetrack. Where is the racetrack that you're talking about?
Can you all hear me?
I can hear
Good
you. It's just crackly a little bit.
on my end. I
You
don't know,
can't hear.
but
Okay, something's happening.
I
Just the
but it's
racetrack.
a lot.
Okay, where's the racetrack near your house?
The Pimlico racetrack, which is
Pimlico racetrack is what Terry. So Pimlico is going through a reconstruction phase, and this is where all this construction is going on, causing all this dirt in the area. So that I want to make sure people were aware of what was happening with that. Let's talk about the Joy for Jordan Day. I'm getting ready to share Brown Girl Wellness's event page on their website. The website is bgwellness.org, and I will share it in the comments in a second. We have this Joy for Jordan Day coming up on June 18th. That's a Thursday. Talk to me about what's going on here. Why is this happening? And what people can do to support. Who is it for? Why? What can people expect? All that type of stuff. That information.
okay.
Dr. Rita, do you want to share, or do you want to go, Terry? Because I know your sound is going
I
in and
want
out.
to briefly about it, and I'll let Dr. Rika take over because I'm having a real hard time. Like
You're having a hard time.
this
Do you
right.
want to come back out? You want to go out and come back in? You, you want to go out and come back in, and we
Okay.
can talk about Dr. Rika's documentary, and when you come back in, we'll get to Joy for Jordan Day. How's about that? Yeah, just come back in, see if that clears it. Um, Dr. Rika, let's
Yeah.
move on to while we wait for is this the one? The Jamboree, the Juneteenth
I'd like to
Jamboree?
speak about the Jamboree and the documentary. So the Jamboree is in partnership with Dr. Farmanel with City
Oh
Week.
yes, Dr.
And so
Farmer now.
Nell and I have been having prevention convention since 2020. And
And
so
what is that?
the premise of the prevention convention is to help prevent issues in community health, issues in community before they happen. So this is very important. So last year we started um, doing a yacht event. We wanted to show how having access to sailing is imperative for people, especially if they're in marginalized communities and dealing with high blood pressure. It's in partnership with the University of Maryland and the Rich Grant. And so, what we are doing is sailing to promote lower blood pressure. So, on the 19th, on Juneteenth, we'll have Big Bean Theory. We'll have Naijha, of course, the land of Kush. We'll have Nando's. Antonio at Nando's is awesome. He's our partner. So we'll have food from the Land of Kush, Nando's, and Big Bean Theory. We'll have food from all the way from South Carolina. My sister friend from South Carolina who makes the best cakes in the world, Nostalgia Sweets. We'll have their desserts. And so we'll be sailing. We'll have Tiffany doing massages. We'll have hula hoops. We'll have games. So it's really a day for families to really come together. Sail, Dr. Felton, who is a pastor of Madison Avenue Presbyterian Church. She and her members have been wonderful community partners. So we're all going to come together and just really have a relaxing time when we can just enjoy each other and enjoy the day, sail, and heal. And I'm so glad that I'll have folks from home joining us all the way from South Carolina. So this is a beautiful thing.
I'm going to share the registration information in the comments so that people can register for the event and also along with your website, Dr. Rika. Terry, I'm bringing you back on. All
Thank
right.
you.
Okay. And let me just highlight you for a minute so we can talk about the Joy for Jordan Day. And I'll go back to the calendar and bring that up in a minute. But I just want to hear from you directly. What is it? Who? Why? What can be? So all that type of information. Terry, do we see you? I see you, right? Okay. Do I see Terry? Terry, are you here? Okay. Oh, Terry, we lost her. I gotta get you to do it, Dr. Rika.
Okay, certainly. So Joy for Jordan Day is a day I've been working with Terry. I was working with Terry for about maybe 2 or 3 years prior to Jordan transitioning. And I wanted a day to honor Jordan. She was unable to go to school. She was very resilient. And so I fought hard to get a holiday named after her with the city of Baltimore. So thankfully, the mayor approved it. So Joy for Jordan Day was an actual day that was recognized beginning last year. And so we are continuing the festivities this year. And this year is in memory of Jordan, her resilience, childhood health, and we're also looking at literacy in our community. She loved to read. She loved teddy bears. So we're really getting together to honor Jordan, and most important, to advocate for women's health, for child health, and also for family literacy.
And here's the flyer, everyone. I was able to download the flyer. So give me a second. That will come up on the screen.
And we're going to have Nando's again on site. Antonio from Nando's is going to be on site. We're going to have the Pancake House, my baby child's favorite place to eat. So we're going to be eating light that day. We're going to have snow cones and popcorn and other things that children will be able to enjoy. A bounce house. We're going to be doing planting medicinal plants in the garden that will help combat asthma. So we're going to be doing a lot of things that day to really empower the community.
Awesome. I'm going to bring up the event page on that. Joy for Jordan.
Okay.
Let's say,
We
and
have
we'll
a
share
big
that.
weekend planned. So from our postpartum moms club, that will be on the 17th. We'll have a live violinist, Amir Joyner, who is Terry's cousin, Terry Michelle's cousin, actually. So we go from the postpartum moms club, and again promoting wellness through relaxation, because at Brown Girl Wellness we believe that rest is revolutionary. So we have that on the 17th. On the 18th, Joy for Jordan Day. On the 19th, we have our event at Port Covington with the yacht, Sail and Heal. And on the 21st, we have our documentary premiere at with our wonderful partner, the Baltimore Museum of Industry.
And people will be able to get all that information under events at bgwellness.org. Is that correct? Because I want to make sure I
Yes,
share that.
that is correct. And we're eating at every event because I'm Southern and we love to eat. Okay, period, point blank. So we're gonna have some wonderful food. So come on out. So not only are you getting great education, my book, they will get a copy of my book that I wrote about the asthma epidemic, the air we breathe. My friend Kim is who is a nurse practitioner. Will also be coming from South Carolina. She and I are the two characters in the book. So Kim will sign the book as well. We have a journal. We have affirmation cards. So we are really excited about gifting that to the community throughout our robust events that we have planned coming up.
Terry, what do you want to say about Joy for Jordan Day now that we have you back on?
So let me know if y'all can hear me clearly, because y'all
Oh,
still
yeah, I
not
can
clear.
hear
But
you.
as long as y'all can hear me.
I can hear
Okay,
you.
so I just want anybody, well, the for those who don't know, I don't know if Dr. Rika said it. So it's an official Baltimore City holiday, um, in honor of my daughter, Jordan Reed. Yeah, last year was our first year. We had it at Port Discovery. It was amazing. This year we're having it at the St. Francis Community Center in White Lock on White Lock. From 11 to 2. Everything is totally free. It's for the children. We're gonna have a lot of activities, just something for the community to get back and spread literacy and just CMV awareness. That was a part of Jordan's diagnosis. And I would like any and everyone to join if you're available. Like I said, it's 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. next Thursday, June the 18th. And yeah, bring your kids and have a nice time.
I'm gonna be there. I was there last year and had a great time at Port Discovery. So, and I love White Lock Community Farm. Like this society is actually a partner of the White Lock Community Farm. So, looking forward to spending time, enjoy for Jordan on that special day. I appreciate it. I'll stop sharing all of this. I put everything in the website. I mean, all these stuff that people need. Oh, well, let me get Joy for Jordan Day. How can the community? We know we want the community to come out and support and be present for the events. How can folks help you in what you're doing? What do you need? Like Dr. Rika, you have the Brown Girl Wellness Organization. What type of support do you need from organizations? And then Terry, you can answer that from whatever capacity you're operating in, individual or just for Joy for Jordan Day.
I want to lead with saying last year this initiative was started as a fundraiser as well. We wanted to help raise funds for Terry and her family to relocate and to purchase another vehicle to get the furniture that they needed in their home to help assist. Now that Jordan is not here, it's still necessary for Terry and her family to get a safer home. So the very first thing that we need is someone to call and say, hey, we want to donate a home to this family. We want to share our resources to help this family get a new home. So that's very imperative. So support for the family is very important. Jordan transitioned in September, but the need is still there. So what people can do to help Brown Girl, we're always, everything that we offer to the community, we take on the financial responsibility for. So when people give to our organization, that helps combat the costs that we have. We are always looking for great volunteers, and we're just always excited about people wanting to come out just to support and show the love, and most importantly, advocate for the issues that are important for us as it relates to women and children.
Thank you for that. Terry?
You're welcome.
Outside of what Dr. Rika shared with support, is there anything else you want to add? I know if you're having issues, okay, we'll transition back to the main screen. Okay, folks, register for Joy for Jordan Day. It's Thursday, June 18th, free event, open to the entire family. And then on Juneteenth, we're going to set sail for the Sail and Heal event. So you want to register for that as well. And it's right here. All events, every single event that we're just discussing here that Dr. Rika is organizing can be found on bgwellness.org. Go to events, everything is listed there. So you got the 18th, the 19th, and the 21st for the documentary. Is that correct? I got that right?
That is correct. Okay. Yes, and the 17th is through Be More Healthy for Babies, our wonderful partner at the University of Maryland. And so they will need to contact Be More Healthy for Babies if they'd like to attend our postpartum moms event, which will have Terry's cousin, a live violinist, Amir Joyner, will be playing for us, and Brown Girl will be handling the writing workshop. So Amir and I will be doing it together.
You got a very well-packed week. I'm looking forward to seeing you two again in person and in the flesh. So I appreciate it. Before I go, I definitely got to share that Children's Veg Fest is in effect, in effect. Let me just bring that out before I close out. I don't want to talk about way too many events. We already talked about stuff. So a press release is going out today on it, folks. So the Children's Veg Fest is a go in partnership with the Y at the Weinberg location in Waverly, and it will be Saturday, August 29th. So you'll be hearing more about that in future segments. But Dr. Rika, Terry, sending prayers and blessings to you. Thank you for taking the time to come on. And
I don't know if y'all can hear me back. Peace and blessings. Thank you for having me.
Peace and blessings. Thank you so much.
But hey, I'm sure Dr. Rika spoke on my behalf.
She handled it. All right. Sending blessings. Okay, peace out, everyone. Whatever you decide to do this weekend, please be well and be safe. Love you.
Love you.
Meeting you where you are. The meaning behind the slogan is that we meet the community where they are. On their journey towards holistic health, a plant-based lifestyle, and veganism, whether it's physically, mentally, emotionally, or spiritually. We do this through people, food, events, and culture. Our 6 pillars are birth, eating, education, empowerment, enlightenment, and events. We are Black Veg Society.